Philanthropy has the power to create positive change and transform lives. I'm Bob DePasquale from Initiate Impact Virtual Family Offices, and we're going to talk about how to do philanthropy effectively. So it's great to think about creating lasting change, making a positive impact in the world, but in philanthropy, you gotta have a strategy, and you gotta be efficient and effective to truly make that change. So the first thing I'd like to talk about is understanding and defining what effective philanthropy is. There has to be a sense of purpose. What are the things that are most meaningful to you? What do you care about? What are the changes that you believe need to be made in the world? And once you've made those determinations, it's time to put in the work. You gotta go do your research. Gotta learn more about those situations. Gotta understand who's being effective and how to make change. And once you understand what's needed and who needs it, then you gotta figure out how you're going to help. Maybe you're going to provide some financial assistance and you're going to need some strategic grant making. You also want to figure out how you're going to spend your time and other resources to help those causes. And then finally, what good is effectiveness? Or how can you understand effectiveness without measuring it? So what are the metrics that you're going to measure? What are the things that you're going to look at to determine if you're truly being effective? The second thing I want to talk about are the principles of effective philanthropy. What are the things that we've seen over the years that most effective philanthropists display? The first thing, collaboration and partnership. No one can go it alone. No philanthropic effort is just one person's. So collaborate with other philanthropists, nonprofit organizations, maybe colleagues, family, coworkers. Who else is going to help you in this cause? Capacity building. What's the amount of impact that can truly be made? Think about it. On the top of that mountain, the highest point, is it possible to get there? Can you stretch, in a good way, not too thin, but can you stretch your resources and organizations as much as possible to maximize their effectiveness? Number three, focus on root causes. Get to the bottom of it. You know, if you pull a weed but you don't get the root, it's going to come back. It's the same thing with positive change in the world. You got to get to the roots, figure out the main causes so that you can make change. Number four, flexibility and adaptability. How important are these in any area of life, but specifically in the generosity space? Your philanthropy is going to need to be flexible. Otherwise, maybe those causes wouldn't need so much change if it were that easy. And number five, engaging in communities. This is part of collaboration, but I wanted to stress this piece because a lot of these communities that need help are very, very strong in their own right. They may have an issue that needs to be dealt with, but the bonds are very strong, and getting involved in these communities and taking advantage of that could be very, very helpful to your cause. The last section of this video is all about some tips for effective philanthropy, some things that those of us at Initiate Impact Virtual Family Offices have found over the years to be super helpful. The first thing is a giving plan. You want to have a strategy. And a lot of times I think people are super excited. They're type A personalities. They want to be aggressive. They want to make change. It's a great sign for a philanthropist. But if you don't take a step back and strategize a bit, you could go off course. The second thing is doing your due diligence, especially if we're talking about financial donations. Make sure you know where your money's going and what the people and organizations you're giving it to are going to use it for. Three, long-term relationships are vitally important. The generosity and philanthropic space, it's not just one-off things. The most impact comes over time. When you develop relationships with people that either need assistance or can give you assistance in your cause. Number four, embracing impact measurement. Now, we alluded to measuring before and determining your progress, but this is key here as a tip as well. Because if you understand if you're doing well or not, you'll likely to either continue doing well and maybe gaining even more momentum, but also on the flip side, if maybe you're not doing so well and your impact measurement doesn't show great results, you can pivot as needed. Number five, learning and sharing knowledge. Always be a learner in the philanthropic space. Always try to understand new ways to do things and new causes that you could support that maybe are ancillary to what you're already doing. Because you know that your impact network is key. Maybe it's not a cause or something else that you want to take on, but being able to make that connection for another group of people is so powerful. And believe me, it'll come back to you because you'll get more help for what's most meaningful to you and your family as well. Number six is just getting involved. In fact, I think this one goes overlooked a lot. Sometimes people want to be philanthropic, they want to be generous, but they maybe don't know where to provide their resources. So a big suggestion from us is just to get involved. And if you don't have a great time doing something, that's fine. At least you were helpful. You can always move on to the next thing, but maybe you'll make connections and find a cause that you really care about. So just get involved if you don't know what to do. And the last thing here is practicing ethical giving. I think sometimes we get so excited about giving resources and supporting other people that maybe we don't realize who we're not supporting or who maybe we could potentially be offending with our gifts. So just be very careful, understand everyone's perspective, and this is part of the due diligence, knowing where your resources are going and who's benefiting. So in conclusion, philanthropy is more than just financial giving. It's about strategy, intentionality, and focus. And I think you'll find if you focus on what's most important to you, your philanthropy and your generosity will be most effective. And you'll understand what's meaningful to you, and that way you'll build that network of people that care about those causes as well. I'm Bob DePasquale from Initiate Impact Virtual Family Offices, hoping your philanthropy is extremely effective and wishing you a generous rest of your week.